Hello and welcome to Craft with Sarah and day 13 of the Christmas Craft Countdown, where I'm sharing a brand new Christmas-themed Cricut project every day for 20 days. Today's project isn't quite a card. It isn't quite a gift card holder. It's a little bit of both. I wanted to do another greetings card for today's project, and to get ideas, I was looking back at some older projects, and I came across these penny slider cards that were originally designed back in 2021, which seems a very long time ago now. These cards allow a picture to move along the front, following one of the shapes of the templates. If you'd like to get those original designs back from several years ago, they're still available to download for free at craftwithsarah.com/penny. But I thought, what if we went one step further? Instead of just moving a picture, what if it had some kind of function or purpose on the front of the card? And that's what we've ended up with. So today's project, here it is. It looks like a beautiful Christmas greetings card. It opens up just like a card. It's got a picture on it just like a card, but it's hiding a secret. We've got this little badge on the front, and when this is pulled down, then the top will open and there's a gift card hiding in there, which can be easily pulled out. And when you're putting it in, it stays in there snugly, so it's not going to go down too far. It stays nice and held in there. You could also add a lottery ticket or a scratch card or something similar. And then to keep it nice and secure and to make the mystery, you simply fold the top over and slide your picture over like that all the way to the top, and then it hides it in place. It is not falling out. It's a little bit of surprise, a little bit of mystery, and best of all, it's fairly quick and easy to make too. Let's get started. The files for this project are free for the next 24 hours. Here's how to download them. Register a free ticket for the Christmas Craft Countdown at craftwithsarah.com/Christmas25. After registering, you'll get an email which contains a link to the schedule page for the countdown. Visit the schedule page to find and download today's files. Each download is only available for free for 24 hours after it goes live. If you've missed some, check out the Instant Access Bundle at craftwithsarah.com/Christmas25 bundle, which gives immediate and ongoing access to all of the files from the Christmas Craft Countdown, plus loads of extra bonus designs. Or purchase just the design from this video at craftwithsarah.com/products. To find the designs from this countdown, click into the Occasions filter and choose Christmas. The designs will appear here each day once the free versions have expired. The download comes in a zip folder. You need to unzip this before uploading the SVG files into your cutting machine software. For instructions on how to use the cut files, visit craftwithsarah.com/help and choose Cricut, Silhouette, or Scan and Cut. Within there are dedicated help guides on topics such as how to upload SVGs, how to modify them to make custom projects, framing tips, and how to cut cardstock with your type of machine. If you have any questions, email hello@craftwithsarah.com. Now, on with today's project. Here's what the SVG file looks like when it's loaded into Cricut Design Space. As the box on the top left shows you, when you click on the design, it should show at 17.5 inches wide and 14 inches tall. If yours is different, change it to match those measurements. Then we need to get rid of this green box so we don't accidentally cut it out. To do that, click the design to select it, then ungroup the layers, either by pressing the ungroup button at the top of the layers panel or on the floating bar along the bottom. Click away, then click onto the green box, or you can directly click the top layer in the layers panel and delete it. We need to change the lines along some of these pieces to be score lines. To do that, look down the layers panel until you see a subgroup. You know that because it will look like a name along here with a chevron arrow on the side. Click the arrow and it will open up that subgroup. It will contain either a green or a red layer at the bottom, and then what looks like single lines, either horizontal or vertical, above. Click to select just the line layer. Then, in the Operations menu, change it from Basic Cut to Score. Click on the group name over here, and now you can see we've got both that green piece and the new score line selected. With those both selected, press the Attach button, which is the paperclip icon at the bottom of the Layers panel, or you can click it in the floating bar. It does the same thing. Attach is what tells the Cricut to do the scoring on that particular bit of card. Then look down the layers panel again. We've got another subgroup, open it up, and just like before, we've got a coloured layer on the bottom and what looks like lines on top. Click the lines, change it to score, click to select that subgroup, and press attach. There's one more here, open it up, and then we've got the lines, click that one, change it to score, click to select the whole subgroup, and attach. If you scroll down the bottom of the layers panel, there are 4 other subgroups in here. If you click on one, it will highlight these 4 pictures along the bottom. These don't have any score lines in, but I grouped the pieces together to make it easier to use them. You only need to choose one of these for the gift card holder. It's the little picture that will go onto the badge that you'll use to slide up and down the card. Click the ones you don't want and delete them. I'm going to use the Christmas tree, so I'll drag around all 3 of those and delete. You can use your own picture if you prefer, instead of the ones that come with the template. And that's all you need to change. So this would now be ready for me to cut. To start the cut process, press Make over on the top right of the screen. That will separate out all the colours. You can change the paper size in here. And then if you want to, you can click and drag to use up less space on your cardstock. This project is good for using up some of your card scraps because you only need a little bit of some of the colours. When you're happy with how all the pages are looking, press Continue to connect to your Cricut and follow the on-screen instructions to get everything cut from cardstock. I've got all the pieces of my gift card slider cut out and ready to go together. I'll be putting this together with glue. I like Barely Art glue because it doesn't bend or wrinkle the card like some glues can do. I also like Collal for the same reason. And also some foam squares. These are the ones I'm using from Dot & Dab, but any will do. These ones are 10 by 10 millimeters. It'll be a nice size to go in this project, but if yours are smaller, you can just put a few together where we're going to need them to do the slider effect, or if yours are bigger, you can cut them smaller if they're too big. So it really doesn't matter which size you've got. We'll start by folding the main piece in half down the score line in the middle. This makes the greetings card part. If you don't want to do it as an actual card, then you can glue it shut at the end. So here we go. We've then got 2 score lines in the middle here. They go down, well, not quite in the middle, near the top really, but I'm going to fold both of these forwards towards myself. So the card's opening that way. I'm going to fold these forwards and it's going to end up making a little ridge along the top. Now this was quite easy to fold. The Cricut did some good scoring on this. They were nice and easy, crisp score lines. If yours are a little bit harder, you might want to go down them again manually, or just be really careful when you're folding. You end up with this little bridge along the top. You can see it if I open up the card. You can see it along here. So it's being created by that gap in between the 2 score lines. And when you turn it on the side, you can see you've got a little gap there. There's a similar thing on this piece of card. Again, down the bottom, you've got those 2 little pieces to make a bridge. But this time we're going to fold backwards away from ourselves. So go backwards along those score lines and fold to create that little ridge. It's a little tricky because they are quite close together, but then you end up with that same kind of thing along there. And it doesn't matter if you put extra creases in it by mistake, like I've just done along there. Can you see? I've got a big crease in it. That's going to be hidden. We're not going to see it. Next up, take this piece again, and we've got 2 score lines along here. Fold backwards so they go in the same direction as your bridge fold, like that. They're mountain folds here. So we've now got both of those sides folding the same direction. Then take this red bit of card. There are score lines down 3 of the sides. These are to use as a visual guide rather than to actually fold along. And what we're going to do is glue this piece over along the tabs so that there's about a centimetre gap at the top there. So if we turn it round, we'll be gluing about halfway down those tabs onto the back of this, and the score lines are facing, but I've got that the wrong way round. My score line should be facing upwards towards me. It'll help show you where you need to glue later on. So we'll be gluing it in about like that, with about a centimetre gap at the top to the back of these tabs. Okay, so glue around half of the bottom of each of the tabs and then fold over. You may wish to use some paper clips to hold that in place until the glue dries. While that's drying, we can stick this bit to the inside of the card. So it will turn around and look like this from the front, and then you'll stick the tab to the inside of the card. Make sure you don't glue along that little bridge piece we made, so we're only gluing up to that first score line. You could use double-sided tape if you prefer. So I've got glue on there up to the first score line, and then we'll look like this from the front, gluing it onto the back. Line the card up along the top score line, fold it round, make sure it still does that little bridge along the bottom. I think it's going to be easier to pick up to stick on. Otherwise the bridge makes it hard to stay in the right place. So I've got my bridge coming out there along the bottom, the matching one at the top. And that should now be dry enough to take those off. Next up, open it up, and we're going to glue on top of this red piece, but only up to the score line that's going around the edge. Don't go further than the score line, otherwise your gift card might not fit in. So we've done that. Then fold it inwards and glue it down. Right, we're getting there. Next up, we'll add the decorations. Glue this piece onto the bottom half. It will wrap around the cutout like that. There's that one. Then there's a dark piece next for the left and the right to glue on top. That's my right one. There's also one for the left. And then one more bit again for the left and the right, this time again in the lighter red. Building up that illusion of a lovely thick ribbon tied around our gift box. I think I've glued the wrong one on that side, because this one is now not quite lining up, but I won't really notice. Okay, we've also got the top bit, 2 pieces of ribbon for this one, starting with the darker colour piece. Again, this goes around that hole cut out, like that. And I probably shouldn't have put my glue right up to the edge. Actually, I was lucky, I didn't quite, because it overlaps a little bit. I forgot about that when I was putting the glue on the back. And then finally, the lighter red piece to go on the top as well. How cool does that look? This bit we'll have our gift card showing through that gap. I don't have a gift card, so I've just got an old store card. You can tuck it in and it won't go down any further than it needs to because it's being blocked by this piece of card in here. And then you'll see a top little bit of it peeking through the hole as a little clue about what's in there. But you'll only see that once you take the slider off. So let's do the slider next. Take your base piece and glue the circle on top. It goes right in the middle. Then whichever picture you've decided to use, glue the pieces together for that. Then either glue it or use foam squares to put it in the middle of the badge piece. Use some foam squares for a little bit of dimension here. And put it roughly in the middle. There, isn't that cute? Bring a gift card holder back in and take the two matching circles. Thread one of them through to the back underneath the hole like that, and then take one of your foam squares, and mine's slightly too big actually, so I may be better off with the smaller ones, or I can cut this one. I'm going to cut just the slightest slither off of there, and then that one should fit. You may need to double up if you find that that's not quite going to be tall enough. I think that's going to be okay, but we can see. Stick the other circle on top, like that, and that's our sliding. So actually that's fine, I didn't need any more height. It's going nicely over all those pieces. And you can check at this point that it's also going to be high enough to go over there. Only just. I think I need to go a little higher. So I'll add another bit on the top. Doubled that up. That's better. Okay, excellent. Okay, it's still catching a little bit. Let's have a look and try and work out why. Oh no, I'm being silly. It's supposed to stop there because it can only go as high as the piece in there. So it's reaching the top there. And then when that bit's stuck on, then it will hide the rest of that gap. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Honest. Bit of glue on there and put the badge on top. Slide it down so it doesn't get any glue smushing out onto that top bit. Gently drop down. Push gently because I don't want the glue coming off of that circle and accidentally sticking my slider bit to the bow. I'm going to leave that to completely dry and then come back and see what it looks like. My glue is now all dry, so let's give it a go. Fold down the top, slide it up as far as it can go, and it holds that top perfectly in place, hiding your gift card. And you can open it up and write a message inside. Or if you don't want to, if you just want it to be a gift card holder without being a greetings card, then add some glue in here and glue it shut. Then all your recipient has to do, slide it down, open it up, and they can pull out their gift card. It goes in there really nicely. It's not going to get lost because it can't push down any further than that. You've got a nice amount of room in there, so you could maybe put lottery tickets or a scratch card or something in there instead of a gift card. And it's just a really cute, interactive, fun way to give a gift card. Now, one thing you may wish to do is to neaten up the sides, but this is completely optional. So by default, the sides are kind of open. You can see here there's a lot of room. If you want to, you can put a little bit of glue inside down each of those. Make sure you don't glue into the top bit, otherwise it won't open. In fact, it might be best to open it up just to make sure you're not going to make that mistake. And you can run a thin bead of glue just along the inside, just a tiny bit there, and push it down. Hold in place with paper clips while it dries. It won't go completely in on the top and bottom because of our little bridges, but it'll be a little neater if you glue it on the sides, but that is optional. A little bit down that side, push down, and some paper clips until that dries. I love how this turned out, and the nice thing is, because you've got different pictures to go on the badge on the front, you could make a load for different people and have them all with a different picture on there, so you'll easily know whose is whose. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make this gift card holder greetings card with fun little slider effect. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more Cricut crafts and Christmas fun. I hope to see you again tomorrow for day 14 of the Christmas craft countdown, but for now, thank you so much for watching. Bye!